Yes, hello friends, welcome to BISP Solutions. Myself Ashwin, and BISP Solutions is a tech company that provide technological solutions across the world. Okay, so now our 16 days we have done the sessions, and in this during these 16 days we have seen that what is business analyst, okay, what skills the business analyst must have, then what are the tools, then you will see here what is the end-to-end cycle. Then we have seen the BRD. Yesterday we have seen like FRD, right? So we have seen so many things within the last 16 days, and I recommend you, if those who are new to this today's session, so kindly refer my past 16 webinars. Okay, now in our today's day 17, right? Day 17. Now today we are going to see use case document and user stories. Okay, so use case document and user story. Now see, now I have communicated with the client, and BRD is prepared, FRD is also prepared, right? Everything is fine. Now the question is, now here it is written agile format. Now see, in this agile format what happens, things are developed, then they are tested, and then again the feedback is taken out, and then again the things goes in the development mode. So like this way, mostly in maximum projects agile technology, agile methodology is used. Okay, so today we are going to see the use cases and user stories. Now introduction, in this the question arises that why use cases are there and what are the benefits of user stories. First of all, let me show you the definition of use case and user story. Where it is? Just a second. Here it is. See here, what is a use case? Okay, so if I show you this, a use case describes how a user interacts with a system to achieve a specific goal. It focuses on the system's behavior. Let me make it, yeah. And now look at this. The use case describes how a user interacts with a system to achieve a specific goal. It focuses on the system's behavior from the user's perspective and details the step-by-step flow of interaction between the user and the system. For example, like I am a sales rep, right? Sales supervisor. Now how the system will communicate with me while I prepare a sales order. Okay, first of all I am showing you the definition and the purpose, then we will move ahead. Okay, so look at this. So the purpose helps understand the functional requirement first of all, then provides a clear picture of how system should respond to the user. Then let me show you. Look at this. First of all, help teams to understand system behavior from the user perspective. Both are same definitions. Ensure the development team knows what to build and why. The reason is that use cases document means exactly when the sales rep will create a sales order, then how the system will interact. Okay, for example, if a particular customer comes, in that case what will happen in the backend scripting, or if you select any item which is to be sold in pair only, suppose if a kit package item is there, then how the system will deduct the percentage or the tax, right? So in this way there are so many things that runs in the backend. Okay, so ensures the development team knows what to build and why, allows stakeholder, developer and tester to align expectation, and then core tools for agile business analyst to break down the functionality into a manageable pieces. It will be clear to you once just first let me complete this, right? Okay, now let's come here. Look at this. Okay, so what is a use case document? Use case functional scenario describing how a user interact with a system. Now let me show you this. This is the use case, example use case. Create sales order in NetSuite. Now who will be the actor? Sales rep. Just now I given you few minutes back. Sales rep, I am a sales rep. Okay. Now preconditions, customer must exist, number one. And then steps, login, navigate, enter sales order, save. Alternative flow, if item is out of stock, show alert. Right. So this is called the use case. Use case means, suppose let's take a sales order. This is a sales order example. Purchase order, what would be the purchase order example? Just same like this only. Just go to the purchase order, fill form, and then enter purchase order, and then just save it. And if any item, uh, uh, now here there is alternate flow. If the item is out of stock, this is for sales, but for purchase order there is nothing, we are demanding, right? So this alternate flow will not be there if the item out of stock. Okay. Now let's see this. Now here user case id, use case id, and name, these are the components in the documentation that we will write down, right? For example, key components of a use case is use case id. Every use case, suppose here is a use case 1, right? Let me make it 1, right? Use case 1, right? id is us case underscore 1. This is the id of this particular requirement. Okay, particular use case. So here is the use case id and name. Okay, actor, the sales rep, the AP clerk, and the customer. Preconditions, what must be true before starting, right? So while writing a use case document, these are the things that are to be mentioned. Main flow, basic path, step by step interaction, right? So you have to define, these are the headings I have shown you, but inside this every heading will occupy one page, right? For example, main flow, basic path. So step by step interaction, you have to show the flow chart also, and you have to show the text also. After that here you will see alternate flow, exceptions or variations. If any exceptions comes, we can call it as exception handling. Okay. Then post conditions and outcomes. What will be the outcome? Say either sales order created, or it will be a back order sales order, right? Now system response at each step, how the system will respond on each step, right? And then assumptions and notes. So the use case document means while creating any item or any record, what would be the preconditions, what things to be existing right before that. For example, if I want to create a purchase order, so purchase order preconditions, the vendor details should be pre-filled, right? Then another precondition is that the item record should be pre-filled. For example, if I want to get like industrial glue from a vendor, so that particular item should be in my database, then only I will create a purchase order. Otherwise the item which is not in the database, how would I create a purchase order? So industrial glue, the item should be in the item inventory record. Then that is the, now what will be the basic flow? Basic flow means step by step interaction. You have to go to which step, from which step to what step, like this. Then post conditions, what will be the outcome, right? And then system response at each step. Okay, what will be the system response, how the system will respond, right? And then the assumptions and the notes. Okay, so here is one use case that we are going to. Now what is a user story? Okay, what is a user story? Now user story means, let me show you again the same text file here. We will go through this also, right? A user story is a short simple description of a feature told from the perspective of the end user. It focuses on what the user wants and why they want it. That's it. So use case means while doing something, what should be the appropriate conditions, and user story means what they want and why they want it. Okay, for example, what is user stories? User story means small test table requirement written from the user point of view. So what will be the user point of view? As a role of purchase rep, user story format, right? Now see here, as a user role, I want to prepare a purchase order or sales order, right? Then so that business value, these are the basic thing. Now see here, let me show you this example. As a sales manager, I want to receive, look at this, as a sales manager, I want to receive alert when sales order is greater than rupees 1 lakh, so that I can approve them quickly. As a finance user, I want to generate GST compliant invoice so that we can follow government regulation. So this is called user story. Again, I am explaining you from the beginning. Let's suppose use case means a sales order creation. For creation of a sales order, what should be required, what should be done first, what are the prerequisites. And user story means the user will tell you exactly, as a sales manager, I want to receive alert when sales order is greater than 1 lakh rupees, so that I can approve them quickly. Okay, so what the user will tell you, that is called user story. And use case means what we are going to do and how it can be done, right? That is the main definition of the use case. Characteristic: independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, small and testable. Invest: independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable and small and testable. So user story is the small testable requirement written from the user's point of view, and the user want only, that's it. The user is not concerned of the background, whatever going on background. Okay, now let's see this acceptance criteria for user story, right? So let me go ahead here. How a user interacts, how to, yes. Now acceptance criteria for user stories. Now acceptance criteria, just a second, let me, acceptance criteria for user stories. Now why needed? Now user story, why these user story are needed, right? A second. So first of all, you have to define that exactly what a story. Help a quality analysis team validate the output. Okay, so reduce misunderstandings in agile team, right? So first of all, what happens once the suppose the sales order, we talk about the sales order module. Now in that sales order, like the customization is done and how the sales order will behave, everything is defined. We will make it as done. Okay, so this use case and user story is done. Now it will help a quality assurance team, quality analysis team to validate the output, because everything is written in the user story document, right? So the quality analysis team will validate the output, and then why this document is required? Because it reduces the misunderstandings in agile team. See, the more document you use, it will make more perfection. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Now format: given, when and then. Now what does that mean? Given user is logged in, when user creates a sales order, then status should be pending approval. This is the format, right? After that, best practice: use bullet points or checklist, keep criteria measurable and verifiable, link them to functional test case. Now see what happens. Suppose again I am explaining you from the everything, right? I go to any client company, and then there I was given the responsibility to implement NetSuite. Now in that NetSuite, what will happen? Suppose I take the requirement and BRD is created, functional document, everything is. Now we've started working on sales order, right? Order to cash. Now in that order to cash, what will happen? First of all, the user will tell that okay, the sales rep will tell that okay, as a user, as a sales rep I want to receive alerts when sales order is greater than 1 lakh rupees, so that I can approve them quickly. As a finance user, I want to generate GST compliant invoice so that we can follow up, can follow government regulations. Now these are the use case, and these are the user story, and the use case is create a sales order, and then the sales order should be created, and according to user story it should behave, right? Now here what will happen once the things are done? So I will define that this user story is done, the system is behaving as per the use case, right? So when the quality analysis team will validate the output, so quality analysis will check the same thing what is written in the use case and the user story, and the format is something like this: the what is given, then when the user creates sales orders, then what happened, right? And here best practice is using of bullet points. Either use bullet points checklist, or you can use the Excel sheet, right? It is not mandatory that you should use any specific type of document. So this thing is clear to you. Now let's move ahead. Now see here, now use case document, when to use what, right? Just give me a second. Yes, now when to use what, use case versus user story, right? Now see here, there is a comparison done between the document. Now project type, okay. So features, first of all we will see the features, use case and the users. Now project type, so this is suppose if in the ERP model, right, use cases are used for ERP model and the waterfall model. For example, let's take, I am giving you one very simple example, very simple example, like we are developing a website, right, or for a college, or we can say we are developing the HR module. Now in this also use case document will be created. Use case means enter the create an employee, okay. Now create an employee, that is the use case, employee creation, and user story will be as a HR, when I will as an HR, when I will create the employee, it should be the email should be automatically created, or the email should be automatically sent to the employee, that's it, right? So that is called the user story. And here user story means it's an agile, user story is used in agile only and sprint based, that is modular based, okay. Now second point, detail level, right? Detail level means it's very high level, right, and it's a step by step process, okay. Now but here it is user story means it's a very low one liner with acceptance criteria. Okay, now then you will see here the document type. Document type is like a BRD and FRD. In BRD also you can see what is written, right? So it's a BRD is also, you can call it as use case document, but you can just refer as a BRD, right? This use case, normally these use case documents are separately created, okay, and they will be used by the testers, right, and the developers. Product backlog and Jira ticket. User story means product backlog, whatever the product is, whatever the backlogs are there, and it is mostly used, for example, as a purchase rep. If I want to I want that email should be sent when I create the purchase order. So in that case, suppose if the desired result is not showing, so you can use ticketing system. Okay, then used by functional team and testers. Use case is used by the functional team and the testers, and user story used by development teams, product owner and QA. The reason is that user story defines how things will be flow, how the things will flow, and use case is a just this is the task and these things to be performed. Then the example, create purchase order, is a use case. As a user, I want to auto approve purchase order. That is called user story. Again, it is clear to you. As a user, I want to create a purchase order. That is called use case, create a purchase order. And as a user, I want to auto approve that purchase order. Once it is greater than $10,000, then it should be approved by me, and once it is not greater than is greater than $20,000, then the supervisor will approve. Okay, that is called. Okay, just okay. Now let's see this. Now, what is the role of business analyst? Okay, what is the role of business analyst in this complete use case and user story? First of all, conduct a stakeholders interview or workshop. See, whenever the business analyst is deployed on any project, now that project is also new for him, right? That means the domain knowledge will be the same. For example, if I am deployed on any SCM project, end-to-end implementation of NetSuite, knowledge will be the same, domain knowledge, but what they want, what their requirements are there, they will be little different, right? So first of all, I have to conduct stakeholders interview and the workshop, that exactly what do you want. So on the basis of that, I will create a BRD. Then that BRD, on the, while referring that BRD, I will create a use case document, that this is the sales order creation and how it will be created, that is the user story. Break large requirement into small story. That is what I was explaining you. Break large requirement into small story. For example, purchase order or P2P is a large requirement. It will be broken into stories like first create a requisition, right? Then creation of requisition, then convert that requisition into purchase order, then who will convert that purchase or requisition to purchase order, and how this purchase order will be created. Is there any validation to be done during the creation of purchase order? Is there any automation to be done, or is there any approval routing required while creation of purchase order? So all these things will be taken care. So that is why it is called as break large requirements into small stories. Prioritize stories using Moscow. Must, should, could, won't. Must means what things must required, how it should flow, and what could we do in that, what could we do better in that, and what we won't be able to do, right? So we are going to prioritize the things, what things are must, so we will do that only. Then what things should be completed, should be done, then what could we do for the next enhancement, and what we won't be able to do. So map stories to sprints and releases, right? After that, collaborate with product owner and scrum master. Okay, collaborate with product owner, right? Now support development team and test team by clarifying stories and criteria. Now see, suppose why this, what is the meaning of this sixth point? See, in this sixth point, support development or test team by clarifying stories and criteria. See, the development team will work based on what you explain them. Okay, now suppose if I go in front of the client and taken the requirement as a purchase order for P2P, so I have to explain. Now how I will explain the use case and user story to the subordinates or the test development team. Now just listen carefully. I will go in front of the developer team. Now I will tell, see, use case is P2P, okay, purchase order creation, and it will be done in two phases, two steps. One, the requisition is created, and another is, okay, let me do it in depth. Okay, let me show how I will explain. First of all, what we will do, requisition, and then it will be converted PO. Okay, now inside this PO, this is the use case. Now inside this PO, first of all, approval writing, right? If it is greater than 10,000, less than 10,000. Now here the user story begins. No approval. If it is greater than 10,000, but less than 50,000, then purchase what? Supervisor approval. If it is greater than 50,000, but less than then vice president this is the user story. Okay, now what validations will be required, what mandatory things? Required, right? They are documented, correct? Now, and in this way, so the send the email after creation. So this is called the user story, and this is how I will communicate with my team. Okay, this is how. Now see here, use case, user story. Now see, use case equal to visual plus detailed system user interface, right? As we have seen in the BRD. User story, agile, simple, testable requirement. That's it. Use acceptance criteria to define done, and then BM must translate business needs into technical language. Now see here, BM must translate translation of business needs into technical. How it is done? Business need. Business need is PO, technical language, this is called the conversion of business needs into technical language. Just give me a second, just give me. Yes, I am back. Now see here, exactly what is happening. Now Yes. Now this is what written here. Look at this. BA must translate business needs into technical language and use tools like Excel, Word, Jira, and Confluence. There are so many tools. So the best tools are Excel and Word, right? Now, in this whole conversation, what you understand? Let's have a quick recap. Quick recap. First of all, let's see this. After that, I will show you the text file also. First of all, today we are going to understand exactly what is use case document and what are the user stories document. Use case means what thing is given to you for development, and inside that what things are predefined, right? And see, here is the use case example. Exactly what sales order creation. That's it. That is the use case or the task. And user story means, as a purchase rep or as a sales manager, I want to receive alert when sales order is greater than 1 lakh. That's it. That is the user story. How the system behaves while using the system. Now see here, acceptance criteria. Now how this use case, how this user story will be accepted, or we can say user acceptance criteria for user stories. The story that you have created, what is the criteria? Suppose you created something for me in application, then how I will make it as okay, approve. So these things are documented. These things are also documented. And who will do this? First of all, the documentation will be done by the development team and the tester team. The development team will develop the things and then they will put it as it is done, and this user story, and these are the acceptance criteria. This is the criteria given, what was given, and when what were the conditions, if else whatever the conditions, and what was the status. And best practice is like writing everything in the bullet point. Use cases are done by the business analyst. User stories will also be given by the business analyst only, but the persons working on this in the user story, developer team will work, and in use cases only the functional team and the tester will done, right? The tester will come, will check, okay, what was given to me, okay, this is what the sales order creation complete process is given to me. Tester will test it and then they will say okay. Okay, now here you will see use case equal to visual plus detailed system user interaction. Okay, user story, agile system, agile simple testable requirement. Use case use acceptance criteria to define done, right? And then BA must translate business needs into technical language. So now let's see the text file also what I have done. Look at this. A use case describes how user interacts with a system to achieve a specific goal. If it focuses on the system's behavior from the user's perspective and details the step-by-step flow of interaction between user and the system. The purpose behind this is help understand the functional requirement. Okay, provide clear picture of how system should respond to user actions and used by developers and testers to build and test the system, right? Okay, so this is what we need. And key components are, these are the actors. Example of use case. Okay, user logs into banking app, right? User logs into banking app. Actor, registered user. Precondition, user is registered and has valid credentials. Main flow, user opens the app, enters username, password, system validates the credentials, system redirects the user to the dashboard. And alternate flow, if credentials are invalid, these are the errors to be displayed. Now what is the user story? A user story is a short, simple description of a feature told by the perspective of the user event. It focuses on what the user wants, why they want it. Now see here again, same story. communicate the user's need to in agile project. Okay, keeps requirements concise and user focused. Okay, guides developers on what to build and why. User story guides the developers on what to build and why it is built, right, as a role, and I want to, and so that what will be the benefits, right. This is what I have explained you. Recent transaction tab. Okay, acceptance criteria. User must be able to access a recent transaction tab. Transactions must be listed with date, amount, merchant, and the list should include the last 30 days. So this is the user's demand that user is telling you. So that is the user story. Okay. Okay. So this is the let me show you this. Here it is. Right. Not this. Okay. So length. What is the length? Aspect, use case and story. Okay. So detailed. The use case is like let me show you this. Okay. Here it is. Length and the detailed and step by step. Use case is detailed. Okay. Just let me. Okay. Here we come, and in the home side. No, not red color. And now it is okay. Length of the use case document is detailed and step by step. User story is precise and concise. Actually, what the user says, that is the story. Format is narrative with flows. Okay. Use case, simple sentence structure. Okay. And then used in transactional and waterfall, and here is agile, and then focus on system behavior and user needs and outcome. That is what we have explained here like this. Here is the some different features are shown here, and here is the what is the length of the document, and what should be the format, and what is, why it is used, where it is used, right. So guys, this was all about the use case and the user story. Okay, these are the use case and user story. Now these are also a type of document, right. Now from here the things will go a little complex, right. You have understood like BRD, FRD, right. What is the BRD and what is the FRD? Now here is today's we have seen another document, that is use case, and before that we have already seen as is and to be. As is document means what is the current process there and what they need. Same thing is here. Here we are going to see use case document. What is the use case and what is the user story. That's it. Okay. Now in our next session, what we will do, we will see the requirement traceability matrix. Okay, we are going to see the requirement traceability matrix. Actually, requirement traceability matrix means a document that defines what are the requirements and how many requirements are achieved and how many requirements are still under pending, right. So today we will complete this session here only, since it's a simple use case and user story definition session, right. Tomorrow we will see the requirement traceability matrix, and then we will see some other topics, right. Tomorrow we will see what here is today requirement traceability matrix, and then test case, UAT scripting. These are most important topics. Okay, so guys, I recommend you to watch this video again and again, because it's a, if once you understand this, it will become more easy for you to understand, right. So those who attended today's session only first time, so I recommend them to watch my previous 16 sessions, right. They will make more clarity to you, and in this way we will go through all different types of documents, right. Once you become perfect in documentation, the things becomes easier for business analyst. Okay, because documentation is the most important task. like writing the scripts and doing the testing part, that is different thing. But exactly what needs to be done, exactly what needs to be done, what we are having in hand, how, what we need to do, and how we can achieve this, these are the things that change the game, right? That makes the things better. So guys, today we will stop here, and tomorrow we will see the requirement traceability matrix, right? Okay, and those who have not subscribed the channel so far, please subscribe the channel so that you will get the notification in advance for the next session. Okay. Okay guys, thank you for attending the webinar. Thank you.